I'm Sarah.
And I'm John.
If you want to improve your English, this podcast is perfect for you. So let's get started and make learning English easy. What are the words today, John?
All right. The first phrase today is, she has a silver tongue. Then we'll continue with, that went right over my head. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. She's playing devil's advocate. He put two and two together. She always calls a spade a spade. He beat me to the punch. That's food for thought. It went down like a lead balloon. And finally, that ship has sailed.
Ooh, what a colorful list. And before we move on, I'd like to say today's word list was chosen by you, our amazing followers. You picked them, and we're here to break them down.
Exactly. We love when our listeners get involved. Keep those suggestions coming.
All right, let's kick things off with the first phrase. The first one is, she has a silver tongue. That sounds charming already.
All right. So the first phrase is, she has a silver tongue.
Ooh, that sounds so shiny and mysterious. Like, is she secretly a superhero with magical speaking powers?
Kind of. When someone has a silver tongue, it means they're amazing with words, smooth talkers, super persuasive.
Right. It's like they can talk their way out of anything or into anything.
Exactly. They don't need magic spells, just a well-timed compliment or a clever sentence.
Honestly, I knew someone like that back in school. She could convince the teacher to move a test every time. I mean, who does that?
Wait, was her name Layla?
Yes, you knew her too?
Yep. She once convinced me to do her group project and thanked me like it was my idea.
Wow, silver tongue level expert.
Totally. People with silver tongues are usually super charming. They know how to read the room, choose their words, and get people on their side.
Like those characters in movies who make speeches and everyone claps at the end, even the bad guys are moved.
Or the friend who always knows just what to say when you're down. It's not just about getting what they want. Sometimes it's about uplifting others too.
True, so it's not only about being persuasive, but also kind and thoughtful with your words. It's a gift, really.
It is. But don't worry. Silver tongues aren't just for famous speakers. Anyone can learn to be more thoughtful and persuasive.
Even us?
Especially us. We're podcast hosts. We have to have at least a little bit of a silver tongue.
Speak for yourself, John. I'm still working on mine. Right now, it's more like a silver spoon with a slight bend.
Hey, that's a start. All right, let's bring this phrase to life with a little scene.
Okay, so I was totally not planning to volunteer for the school play.
But you're playing the lead now.
Yeah, blame Maya. She has such a silver tongue.
Maya? Oh, she does have a way with words.
She was like, Ava, the spotlight needs you. The audience deserves you. Next thing I know, I'm at rehearsal.
Wow. Did she hypnotize you or just charm you?
Honestly, both. Classic silver tongue move. You walk into a conversation with one plan and leave with a whole new to-do list.
Totally. And it's not always about getting their way. It's about how they make people feel heard, excited, or even inspired.
Like a motivational speaker who lifts everyone up with their words, or a friend who always says the right thing at the right time.
And remember, having a silver tongue doesn't mean you're fake. It just means you've got real talent with words.
So listeners, do you know anyone with a silver tongue? Maybe you're that person.
If you've ever made your teacher laugh, your friend smile, or convinced your sibling to trade snacks, there's your silver tongue at work.
Use it for good, like charming your way out of homework or into extra dessert.
The sweet power of words. All right. Coming up next, that went right over my head. Sounds like we're in for some confusion and maybe a flying pie.
Now that's something I want to hear about.
All right. Next up is, that went right over my head.
Oh, yes, I've said this so many times, especially in math class. Like, wait, what just happened?
Exactly. This phrase is used when you don't understand something. Like, it's too complex or confusing, and your brain just goes, nope.
So basically, the idea flies right over your head and you totally miss it.
Yep. It's like when someone tells a joke, and everyone's laughing, except you. And you're just sitting there pretending like you got it.
Or when your science teacher explains something about black holes and all you hear is space, blah blah gravity, wormhole.
Ha ha. Totally. And you're just nodding like, ah yes, of course. Quantum time spaghetti. Got it.
Once my friend tried to explain cryptocurrency to me. I smiled the whole time, but honestly, it went so far over my head, I think it's still in orbit.
Same here. Some explanations are like riddles, wrapped in confusion, covered in sparkly nonsense.
So true. But it's okay. We all have those moments.
And that's the great thing about this phrase. It's super honest and kind of funny. You're just admitting, hey, I didn't get that.
All right, let's jump into a little scene to bring this phrase to life.
Okay, so then the paradox unravels because the multiverse timeline resets itself through quantum entanglement.
What?
You know, like in the movie, the alternate realities collapse and create a feedback loop.
Leo, that went right over my head.
Oh, sorry. Basically, it's like pressing the rewind button on every version of you that ever existed.
Okay, now that I understand, rewind, I got.
See, I should have just said that.
Ha ha, I've totally been Zara in that conversation. Multiverse talk, brain gone.
Yeah, and it's so relatable, whether it's science, a complicated joke, or even instructions from your boss. It happens.
Once I watched a movie that everyone said was deep. I sat through 2 hours, and when it ended, I looked around and said, wait, was that about aliens or heartbreak?
Haha. I remember watching an art film in college. Everyone was clapping at the end, and I was like, did I miss something? Was there a plot?
Sometimes I think people just nod and pretend to get it, just to look smart.
Oh, totally. But here's the truth. Admitting that something went right over your head, that's actually pretty smart.
Right? Because it means you're curious, you want to understand. That's way cooler than faking it.
And honestly, the best learning moments come after you say, wait, what?
So true. That's when the real magic happens. Someone explains it differently, or you go home and look it up, and suddenly, boom, it clicks.
And the next time someone brings it up, you're the one explaining it. That's how growth works.
So to all our amazing listeners out there, never feel bad if something goes over your head.
Just laugh it off, ask questions, and keep going. No shame in not knowing, only power in learning.
Unless it's flying pies. Then duck first, learn later.
Ha ha ha, noted. So, whether it's a flying pie or a confusing movie plot, just remember, next time it might go into your head instead of over it.
Ooh, that was deep.
Thanks. I practiced that line all night, and I think it just went over your head.
Wait, what? Oh no.
All right, time for our next phrase. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. This one's got a little edge, and maybe a rusty hammer.
Uh-oh, better grab the toolbox. This could get interesting.
All right, time for the next phrase. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oof, that one's got some sass in it. Sounds like someone just made a pretty silly mistake.
Yeah, this phrase is a colorful way of saying someone might be a little slow to catch on.
Like, they're trying their best, but the thinking gears are just a little rusty.
Exactly. The shed is like your brain, and the tool is your thinking power. If it's not sharp, Well, things aren't slicing through too quickly.
So it's not mean exactly. It's just a funny way of pointing out someone's having a not so brilliant moment.
Right. You know that friend who stares at the push door and keeps pulling it?
Or the one who tries to heat soup on a paper plate, on the stove.
Oh no. Did you do that?
Maybe, maybe not. I plead the fifth.
Ha 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 ha. Hey, everyone has a dull tool moment. It's part of being human.
True, and sometimes we say this phrase about ourselves too, when we mess up and just have to laugh.
Like when I spent 10 minutes yelling at my laptop because it wouldn't turn on, and I forgot to plug it in.
Classic. You were the unplugged wrench in the shed that day.
Totally. So this phrase isn't always about someone else. It can be a way of laughing at our own goofy moments.
All right, let's show how this one works in a quick scene. So guess what Max did?
Oh, what now?
He tried to print his online homework by putting his phone into the copy machine.
Wait, what?
Yep, he said, if I can see the homework on my phone, the copier should too.
Oh, no, Max.
I love the guy, but he's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah, more like a very blunt butter knife.
Aw, poor Max, he tried. But yeah, that's a classic not so sharp moment.
Totally. But let's be honest. We all have moments like that. I once tried to scan my student ID through the microwave thinking it was the scanner.
Wait, what? John,
Yep. I was sleep deprived and holding a burrito in the other hand. My priorities were mixed up.
haha, you were literally trying to scan yourself a snack.
Exactly. So when people say he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, I just say, today, you're probably right.
And the best part is, it doesn't mean someone's not smart forever. It's just a funny way to talk about a silly moment.
Yes. It's about the situation, not the whole person.
Because let's face it, even the smartest people do the dumbest things sometimes.
Einstein probably lost his socks too. We're all human.
So if someone says this about you, don't take it too seriously. Laugh it off, learn from it, and move on.
And next time someone else makes a silly mistake, be kind. We're all in the same toolbox.
Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the noodle that thought it was a screwdriver.
I don't think noodles are in the shed.
Exactly my point.
Well played. All right, folks. We hope you're enjoying these phrases and maybe even seeing yourselves in a few of them.
Because language is about more than words. It's about life, laughs, and learning through the silly stuff too.
Up next, we're diving into something a little spicier. She's playing devil's advocate, so get ready for some good arguments.
Ooh, debate time. Let me grab my imaginary lawyer glasses.
And maybe a fire extinguisher. This one could heat up. All right, next up is the phrase. She's playing devil's advocate.
Ooh, now that sounds intense. Are we summoning fire and arguments today?
Nope. No pitchforks or fire circles involved. It's not about evil or actual devils.
Phew, because I did not bring holy water today.
You're safe. When someone plays devil's advocate, they pretend to take the opposite side of an argument just to challenge the other person.
So, like, they're not really against you? They're just acting like it?
Exactly. They do it to make the conversation more interesting or to help test your ideas.
That sounds kind of sneaky but smart. Like, I agree with you, but let's flip it just to see what happens.
Totally. It's like sharpening your thoughts with a little friendly pushback.
I've done that before. My friend once said we should take a road trip across the country, and I was like, okay, but what if the car breaks down in the middle of the desert?
Exactly. You weren't trying to ruin the idea. You were just helping her think it through.
Right. I love the road trip idea, but someone's got to ask the tough questions.
That's what a devil's advocate does. They're like the person in the movie yelling, "Wait, guys, this might be a trap."
So they're basically the cautious hero. I like that.
And it's a great way to explore both sides of a topic without actually believing both sides.
So just to be clear, you don't have to agree with what you're saying when you're playing devil's advocate?
Nope. You just pretend to hold the other view, so the person you're talking to can see the full picture.
Got it. It's like being the debate team captain and the challenger at the same time.
Exactly. A little mental gymnastics never hurt anyone.
Except maybe during Monday morning meetings.
Fair. All right. Let's see this phrase in action.
I think we should let everyone work from home full time. It boosts productivity.
Let me play devil's advocate here. What about team bonding? Won't we lose that connection?
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
I'm not saying we shouldn't do it, but it's good to look at both sides, right?
Totally. That's why I like brainstorming with you. Ooh, Nina was smooth with it. She wasn't attacking the idea, just stretching it.
Exactly. Playing devil's advocate is about balance. It can help people prepare, problem solve, and think critically.
But you've got to be careful too. If you overdo it, people might think you actually disagree.
Right. So, timing and tone are everything. You want to challenge ideas, not crush spirits.
I try to use it in group projects, like, okay, I agree with your plan, but what if it goes wrong? What's our backup?
That's perfect. It's like testing the boat before it sets sail.
And sometimes, the devil's advocate ends up helping the original idea become even better.
So next time someone says, "Why are you arguing with me?" you can just say, "Relax, I'm being your brain gym today."
Exactly. And who knows? The devil's advocate might just be your best teammate.
All right, listeners. We hope that helped clear up the mystery behind this tricky little phrase.
So go ahead, challenge an idea now and then. Just maybe leave the devil costume at home.
Unless it's Halloween, then we fully support it.
Up next, we've got a phrase about being clever with clues. He put two and two together.
Yes. The detective moment. Grab your magnifying glass, folks. We're going sleuthing. Next up on the list, he put two and two together.
A classic. Sounds like someone's turning into a detective.
Yep. This phrase means someone figured something out by connecting the clues.
So it's not about math class, right? We're not talking actual addition here.
No calculators required. It's about realizing the truth by piecing together bits of information.
So like when you see your friend suddenly carrying flowers and acting all secretive, and then boom, you realize, wait, they're planning a surprise.
Exactly. You didn't need to be told. You just put two and two together.
It's like that light bulb moment. One thing clicks, then another, and suddenly, ding, the answer is clear.
Totally. It can be fun, or even a little dramatic, depending on what you figure out. So, sometimes it leads to a fun discovery, and sometimes to a big uh-oh.
Yep. And the cool thing is, this phrase really shows how our brains are always connecting things, even when we don't realize it.
Let's check out a little scene to bring this one to life. So, Emma's been texting a lot lately, and she keeps smiling every time she checks her phone.
And didn't she start dressing up more for class?
Yeah, and she's suddenly super interested in soccer.
Oh, wow. I think I just put two and two together. She's got a crush on Leo.
No way. That actually makes total sense now.
The signs were all there, you just had to add them up. Ooh, Maya's a good little detective there.
Yep, she caught all the clues and figured it out, without anyone saying a word.
That's the fun of this phrase. You don't need someone to explain things when you've got eyes, ears, and curiosity.
And it's not always about big secrets either. Sometimes it's just everyday stuff.
Like realizing your teacher's in a bad mood after you see they spilled coffee on their desk, the projector's broken, and their lunch is missing.
Yikes. That's a definite don't ask questions day.
Exactly. You put two and two together and quietly do your homework.
So, listeners, next time you notice little clues adding up to something big, congrats. You just use this phrase in real life.
Because life's full of clues. You just need to be paying attention.
And if you're really good at it, maybe you've got a future in solving mysteries. Or at least finding out who took your fries.
Spoiler alert, it was always John.
Hey, I just put two and two together. You never finished them anyway.
Rude but fair. Okay, folks, ready for the next one? It's time for some honesty with this next phrase. She always calls a spade a spade.
Ooh, this one's about being brutally honest. Let's see how that plays out. No sugarcoating allowed. Alright, our next phrase is, she always calls a spade a spade.
Ooh, bold energy incoming. I feel like we all know that person. No filter, no fluff.
Oh yeah. You ask them, how do I look? And they go, honestly? Like you got dressed in the dark.
Brutal. But hey, at least you know they're being real with you.
Right? It's not about being rude. It's about being straight up honest. No sugar on top.
Exactly. It's like, if the situation is messy, they'll say, this is a mess, not, oh, this is unique.
Ha ha. And you know what? Sometimes that honesty is just what you need.
Totally. Like when you're working on a project and you want feedback, not flattery.
Yep. You don't want someone who says, it's great, and then whispers to someone else, what was that?
No, thank you. I'll take the honest friend who says, look, this needs work, but here's how you can fix it.
Exactly. And that's what we mean when we say someone calls a spade a spade. They tell it like it is.
They're not going to call a spoon a fork just to make you feel better. If it's a spade, it's a spade.
They see it, they name it, they move on.
All right, now that we've set the stage, let's bring this phrase to life with a little scene.
So, what do you think of my painting?
You want the truth?
Of course.
Okay, the colors are great, but the cat looks more like a potato with ears.
Ha ha ha. You really don't hold back.
Hey, you know me. I always call a spade, but seriously, your shading's amazing.
Thanks. I'd rather hear the truth than fake compliments.
Aha, Lily didn't hold back, but she wasn't cruel. That's the art of calling a spade a spade.
Right. It's honesty with heart. You point out the problem, then you help solve it.
Like, your presentation needs work, your slides are too busy, but here's how to fix them.
Exactly. And people respect that because it shows you care more about the outcome than someone's feelings in the moment.
And let's be real, we all need that friend who gives real talk now and then.
True. Without them, we'd all keep wearing mismatched socks or using Comic Sans in serious emails.
Comic Sans, that font crime deserves a full-blown intervention.
Agreed. But back to spades. This phrase can also remind us to be honest with ourselves.
Yes. Self-reflection is calling our own spade a spade. Admitting, I wasn't prepared, or I need to practice more.
That's growth. And when you're honest with yourself, you can actually improve.
So whether it's giving feedback to others or to yourself, calling a spade keeps things real.
And remember, it's not about being harsh. It's about being clear, constructive, and kind underneath.
Next time you see someone use this phrase, tip your hat. They're doing the tough job of truth-telling.
And if you're the one speaking up, own it. You're helping everyone get better.
All right, listeners, we hope you've enjoyed this dose of honesty, and maybe laughed a bit too.
Stay tuned for our next phrase. He beat me to the punch. We're talking timing and maybe a boxing ring. Don't miss it.
See you in the next round of idioms. No gloves required.
All right, next up, we've got he beat me to the punch.
Ooh, sounds like somebody got outpaced. Were fists flying? Was there a ring? Did someone yell fight?
Ha ha. Not quite. But I love the drama. This phrase actually comes from boxing.
Really? Like actual gloves and uppercuts?
Yep. In the ring, if you punch before your opponent does, you've beaten them to the punch. Literally.
Okay, that makes sense. But we don't need to be boxers to use it now, right?
Nope. These days, it just means someone did something before you got the chance.
Like when I'm about to tell a story and you jump in and tell it first. Every time.
Guilty. But that's only because you take forever to get to the good part.
Excuse me, my dramatic pauses are a work of art.
Ha ha. Fair enough. But see? Perfect example. Beating someone to the punch means getting in there first, whether it's a story, an idea, or even a decision.
Like when you're just about to hit buy on concert tickets and someone else grabs the last ones. Oof.
Or when you're about to confess something important to a friend and they say it first. Instant surprise.
Sometimes it's frustrating, but sometimes it's kind of funny. Let's see how it plays out in a real-life moment.
Okay, so, I was just about to ask Mia to the school dance.
Oh no, don't tell me.
Yup. Before I could even say anything, Jack walks up and asks her.
Seriously, Jack?
He totally beat me to the punch. And the worst part, she said yes.
Oof, that's rough. You had the plan, the timing, just not the speed.
Lesson learned. Next time I'm moving faster than Jack's hair gel.
Wow, poor Tyler. He had the plan, the nerves, the moment, but Jack was just one step quicker.
That's the thing with this phrase. It captures that split second where someone else acts before you do.
And let's be honest, it happens to all of us. We hesitate for just a moment, and boom, someone swoops in.
Yep. It's like standing at the dessert table, eyeing the last brownie, and someone grabs it right as you reach for it.
That is a punch to the soul. Chocolate heartbreak.
But here's the silver lining. Getting beat to the punch can be a great motivator.
Totally. It reminds us not to wait too long, especially when something really matters.
Whether it's raising your hand in class, applying for a job, or telling someone how you feel, sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Because hesitation can lead to regret, but action, even if it's a little scary, that can lead to progress.
And if someone beats you to the punch, don't take it personally. Just learn from it and be quicker next time.
Right. Life isn't a race, but some moments do move fast.
And hey, sometimes you're the one who beats someone else to the punch. Just remember to be kind about it.
Exactly. No rubbing it in. Unless it's a brownie. Then, maybe just a little flex.
So, listeners, think about something you've been waiting to do. What's that one thing you don't want someone else to beat you to?
Whatever it is, maybe this is your sign to act today. Be brave. Be first. Beat yourself to the punch.
And if you mess up, no worries. There's always another round.
Speaking of rounds, our next phrase is, that's food for thought. So get ready. This one's about big ideas, deep thinking, and maybe a snack or two.
Let's dig in. See what's cooking in the idea kitchen. All right, up next, we've got a phrase that sounds delicious. That's food for thought.
Now this is my kind of English lesson. Is it dessert? A snack? Maybe a giant plate of pasta?
I hate to break it to you, but there's no actual food involved.
Then why is my stomach growling already?
Because you're always thinking about food. But seriously, this phrase is all about ideas.
So, like food for your brain?
Exactly. When someone says, that's food for thought, they mean that's something worth thinking about.
Oh, so it's when someone says something deep or meaningful, and you're like, I need to sit with that.
Yes, it's like an idea that doesn't just fly by. It stays with you, makes you think.
And not always in a super serious way, right? Sometimes it's just something unexpected that makes you go, wait a minute.
Right. It could be a big philosophical quote, or just a clever observation from a friend.
Like the other day, my friend said, you spend your whole life waiting for the weekend, and then it's just laundry and errands. I was like, wow, that hit.
Relatable. And yep, that's food for thought. Makes you reflect a little deeper than usual.
Okay, I'm hungry for more. Let's stir things up with a quick scene. So our teacher said something today that really got to me.
Yeah? What was it?
She said, what you do every day becomes who you are. Like, it's not the big moments, it's your daily habits.
Whoa, that is deep. I always thought success came from one big thing.
Same. But now I'm thinking, maybe it's the little choices that really shape us.
That's definitely food for thought. I might start journaling again, or at least stop binge watching till 2 a.m.
Wow, I love how something small, like that teacher's sentence, can totally shift how you think.
Right? That's the power of food for thought. It's not loud or in your face. It just quietly plants itself in your brain and grows.
It's like a little idea seed. You don't always know what it'll turn into, but you feel it sprouting.
And sometimes it hits you later, like when you're brushing your teeth or walking to school. Suddenly you go, wait, that actually makes sense now.
Totally. I once heard someone say, you're not behind, you're just on your own timeline. That stuck with me for weeks.
Oof, that's definitely food for thought. Makes you breathe a little easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it reminded me that not everything has to happen fast or look like someone else's journey.
So, listeners, think about what's been sitting in your brain lately. Something someone said, something you read, a moment that made you pause.
Even questions can be food for thought, like, what would I do if I weren't afraid? Or, am I living the story I want to tell?
Whoa, okay, that's a whole meal right there.
Sorry, I went full buffet mode.
No, I love it. Deep thoughts can lead to deep changes. That's the beauty of reflection.
So grab a journal, take a walk, or just stare out the window for a minute. Let your mind wander.
And next time someone drops a meaningful idea, don't just nod and move on. Sit with it. Let it marinate. Get ready for those cringy moments where your big idea lands with a thud.
Let's dive in.
All right, Sarah. I have to warn you. This next phrase is a bit of a downer.
Uh-oh, now you've got me worried. What is it?
We say, it went down like a lead balloon.
Whoa, that sounds heavy. Like a balloon filled with what, bricks? Or maybe a lead balloon?
Exactly. It's a funny way to say something didn't go well at all. Like, it totally failed.
Oh, so like when I tried to sing karaoke last weekend and everyone just stared at me?
Bingo. Your performance went down like a lead balloon.
Ouch. But hey, at least they were polite enough to stay silent.
True. Or, remember that time I told that joke at the party, and it was met with complete silence?
I was there. It was so quiet I thought my ears were broken.
Yup. That joke went down like a lead balloon. It just didn't land.
It's like the opposite of a hit. No cheers, no laughs, just awkward looks.
Exactly. It's great because it gives us a fun way to talk about those flop moments without being too harsh.
Perfect. Because failure happens, but it doesn't have to be the end of the world.
Right. Sometimes you just have to laugh at it and move on.
Okay, I'm curious. Let's hear a little story where this phrase really fits.
Hey everyone, I wrote a poem for the talent show. Want to hear it?
Sure, hit us with it.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm the best dancer, and so are you.
Interesting.
Yeah, it went down like a lead balloon.
Don't worry, Alex. Next time will be better.
Poor Alex. That poem definitely didn't float, huh? Nope. But that's what makes this phrase so useful. It's a light-hearted way to say something totally flopped.
I like that it's not harsh or mean. It's like saying, well, that didn't work out. But hey, no big deal.
Exactly. Because everyone has lead balloon moments, even the best of us.
Oh, for sure. I remember one time I tried to give a presentation, and halfway through, my computer froze.
Oh no.
Yeah, and my jokes? Dead silence. My whole speech went down like a lead balloon.
But here's the thing. It's those moments that help us grow. We learn, we adjust, and next time we soar.
Right. Plus, if you can laugh about it, it's already less painful.
Totally. Humor is the best way to bounce back from a flop.
So, listeners, think about your own lead balloon moments. What went wrong? How did you react?
And maybe share your funniest flop story with a friend. Trust me, you'll get some good laughs.
Because sometimes failing spectacularly makes the best stories.
And the best lessons.
All right, our next phrase is a classic. That ship has sailed. Ready to talk about missed chances?
I'm ready. Let's dive in.
All right, John, I'm ready for this one. That ship has sailed. Sounds like we're talking about boats, waves, maybe a pirate adventure?
I love that. But no pirates here. Just a way to say when an opportunity has passed.
Oh, so like when you miss the bus and see it driving away? Or when your favorite concert sells out before you get tickets?
Exactly. It's like that moment when you realize, well, it's too late now.
I think we've all had those moments where we just say, ah, that ship has sailed. It's kind of sad, but also freeing, right?
Yes. It's a way of accepting that some chances aren't coming back. So it's best to move on.
Reminds me of that time I wanted to join the soccer team but signed up too late.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Sometimes, no matter how much you want something, timing is everything.
So instead of stressing, you say, that ship has sailed, and look for the next big thing?
Exactly. It's all about letting go and keeping your eyes forward.
Okay, I'm sold. Let's see how this sounds in a quick scene. Did you hear? They're not hiring interns anymore this year.
Wait, what? I was going to apply last week but forgot.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. That ship has sailed.
Guess I'll just have to wait until next year.
Yep, sometimes you just have to accept it and move forward. You know, John, I really like how that ship has sailed helps us accept things without feeling stuck.
Yeah. It's like a gentle reminder that some doors close, so other ones can open.
Sometimes I think we hold on to missed chances way longer than we should.
For sure. But saying that ship has sailed is like giving yourself permission to let go.
And that can feel so freeing, like taking a deep breath and saying, okay, what's next?
Exactly. Plus, missing one opportunity doesn't mean you're out of the game forever.
Right. Sometimes it's just a detour or a new path you hadn't noticed before.
I love that. Life's full of ships, and sometimes you miss one. But the sea is huge.
And who knows, maybe the next ship has something even better waiting for you.
So, listeners, next time you're upset about a missed chance, try saying, that ship has sailed.
Let it help you move forward instead of looking back.
And if you're still feeling stuck, remember, there's always another ship, another chance, another adventure.
All right, ready to sail into the next phrase? It's she has a silver tongue. I'm guessing it's about someone who's really good with words?
You got it, Sarah. Let's dive right in.
And that's a wrap for today's episode. We hope you had as much fun as we did learning all these cool phrases.
Yep. From she has a silver tongue to that ship has sailed. We've been on a whole roller coaster of expressions today.
Seriously. And if you're out there thinking, wait, I'm still on cloud nine from earlier, that's totally okay.
Just don't be in over your head trying to remember them all at once. One phrase a day keeps boring English away.
Ooh, I like that. One phrase a day keeps boring English away. We should totally put that on a mug.
Merch idea. Ha ha. But really, practice makes perfect. Even if you mess up a little, just laugh and keep going.
Exactly. The more you say them, the more natural they'll feel. So don't be shy. Try them out in your next conversation.
And hey, If someone says, "Where'd you learn that awesome phrase?" you can proudly say, "Oh, just my friends, Sarah and John."
We'll totally take that shout out. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our weekly dose of fun English learning.
Or hit that follow button so we don't slip your mind. See what I did there?
Nice one, John. Also, if you loved today's episode, share it with your friends, your neighbor, your dog.
Especially your dog. Dogs love phrasal verbs. Or maybe that's just mine?
And don't forget, you can binge all our previous episodes anytime. We've got a whole treasure chest of fun lessons waiting for you.
All right, it's time for us to sign off. But we'll be back very soon with more expressions, more laughs, and maybe more terrible puns from me.
That's a guarantee. Haha. Until then, keep learning, keep smiling, and remember, you've got this.
See you next time, language rock stars.
Take care and stay awesome.
Bye for now.